Hey guys, what is up? It's Melanie, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you 3 TikTok trendy Pinterest, I don't know. I'm gonna be showing you 3 super cool clothing DIYs that are very simple. Surprisingly, they were all like under an hour, I would say. I absolutely love how all of these turned out. They really fit in with kind of that like slightly quirky aesthetic recently where your clothes, you know, they're a little funky, like colorful, bright. You get to be very creative with these items. Also, you don't need that many supplies. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video and enjoy how the DIYs came out. Other than that, let's get straight to the video. Hello guys, we are back at the crafting desk. I'm gonna start off with this sweater. I've actually been wanting this sweater for a really long time. I don't even know where to get it, and I was like, that doesn't look too hard to make, so we're gonna be doing that. First off, you just want a solid colored, okay, so first off, you're just gonna want a solid colored sweater. I got this oversized pink one, and then you're gonna want either paper, something thick. I'm using this like cardboard box, and this is just so that the dye doesn't like seep through your fabric. So I'm just gonna cut off like a piece of this that is like a good size. You could also use like a stack of paper or something. I just found this. Oh my gosh. Alright, so I have this big cardboard. I'm basically gonna place it in between my sweater. Okay, that should be good. And then let's look up a picture for inspiration. You're also gonna be needing some clothing like fabric dye. I got this in like a, hopefully that's darker. If it's not, then but I got this in a darker pink. And then you're also gonna be needing some paint brushes. So I have kind of a medium-sized one. All right, so this is the sweater that I want to recreate. It's just abstract. It's just like funky lines everywhere. So, and it doesn't have to be exactly the same. I'm kind of just taking inspiration from it. I like that. I like that I can express my creativity with it. So usually when you use these fabric dyes, I believe you mix it with water and you do all these different steps, but I'm just not listening to any of that, and I'm just using it as if it were paint. So hopefully it works. Hopefully I don't spill this anywhere also, because I'm very stain prone. I'm nervy. All right, so we're just gonna go ham with this. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm basically just painting random little zigzaggy stripes. So, ooh, let's get started. Definitely seeps through, so it's a good thing that I have this cardboard. Using a dabbing motion is a little bit easier. You can basically do whatever design you want.
Alright guys, pretty self-explanatory, but as you can see here, I'm really going away on the painting. Not gonna lie, this was very relaxing. Enjoyed it, 10 out of 10 experience. I did look at the photo for reference a little bit, but I love how overall you can be so abstract with this and kind of go wherever your heart takes you. As you can see, I painted a little heart here.
Guys, it literally looks like blood there. But this is stressing me out because I'm getting dye everywhere, and this is what it looks like so far. I separated it from my other clothes because I don't want this dye everywhere, but I thought this is cute. I made a little heart in the corner, and I love how abstract-y it looks, but I'm just gonna let it set and kind of like dry a little bit before I move on to the sleeves. I think the actual design has stuff like on the back also, but right now I'm not sure if I want to add stuff to the back. It might just take a little too long, and I'm feeling a little bit lazy, but I definitely want to add a little bit to the sleeves. I'm thinking I might add something to the middle, but that's just what it looks like so far. I think it's super cute. Look at that. I can't wait to wear it. I'm gonna go eat some yogurt, and then I'm gonna come back and paint some more. I was also thinking with this stuff, it was kind of hard to paint it, so I might switch to like a sponge brush, or I was also thinking that I could use like a squeezy tube or something to like squeeze out the dye, but then that also like stresses me out. I don't know if it would make so much of a mess, but I'm gonna go get like towels and try to clean this up. But that's all for now. I'll catch you guys up on it in a little bit.
This is the finished sweater. Not gonna lie, I like it more than the sample. I love the little heart.
Hello again. So on to this next DIY. It's kind of a similar concept, but I am doing a different design. So first off, I have this little tank top. It's from Target. I absolutely love these tanks. I have a bunch of them that I just wear. Normally, I already cropped it a little bit because of course, we're all about the crops. I got it in a medium also because I want it to be a little bit, not oversized, but like, since it's a rib stretchy material, I didn't want it to stretch as much when I was wearing it basically. I'm doing something similar though. I'm going to be painting basically a design on it, and I cut up this little like tissue box because I'm gonna shove this inside. I'm shoving this inside so that once again the dye doesn't seep through. But What I thought would be fun for this design is to do like a little zebra print. If you guys see my hauls, I have been in love with the zebra print recently. I don't know what happened. It used to be kind of like a, not cringy, but like slightly print, but now I'm just obsessed with it. So I have over here dark purple dye, and I have a smaller paintbrush, and I'm gonna be painting zebra print on this. Hopefully it goes well. My other sweatshirt is upstairs right now and it's like drying. I put it out in the sun. So I'm just gonna do basically the same thing, just with a different design on this one.
All right, this is pretty much the same thing as the first DIY as I mentioned, but I did find that painting on a thin fabric like this is way easier than painting the dye onto something like a thick sweater. So it did go by faster, even though I was doing a little bit more complex of a design, as you can see. But I also found this very therapeutic because you're just painting the same pattern. I threw on a nice podcast, really enjoyed this experience as well. In hindsight, if I were to give you some pro tips, first off, I would say make sure that you have a very thick cardboard in between. I already mentioned that, but honestly, such a lifesaver. It relieves a lot of stress. Second off, I would say have a lot of different brushes, some water, and paper towels handy, because that also alleviates a lot of stress. Partially enjoying this, very relaxed while I was painting. I was also partially very stressed about this paint dye stuff getting everywhere.
All right, guys, so this is what the finished top looks like. Super cool. And honestly, the dye for this one didn't spread that much, which I really like. You can tell like it's pretty sharp. Hopefully it stays that way, because I'm gonna let it sit for a while, probably for the next couple of days, so that the dye really sets in before I like wash it or anything. But I think that looks pretty sick. I can't wait to try it on and stuff. Yeah, that's it for this one, and I think it looks pretty good. You could also do like literally any design, which is cool. Polka dots, flowers, other animal prints, but yeah.
And this is how the finished top turned out. It is such a fun little staple piece.
All right, guys, I randomly have glasses on now. Like, let's just ignore that. I'm so excited for this one. And seeing this inspiration, I'll pop it up on Instagram, and I thought it was so cute. I have no clue where to buy it, but I figured I could make something similar. So to start off, I just have another one of these tank tops. This one is in a large, the same Target one, and I'm gonna crop it to start everything off. I also have this tank top, but I'm just using it basically for the fabric. So if you have any scrap clothing material, you can use that. You could also just buy some like stretchy black or like whatever color fabric you want. The other thing I'm doing for this, or I'm trying out I suppose, is instead of just doing like a plain straight crop, I'm gonna make it kind of like V cut in the front. I've never done that before. So to do that, I think I'm gonna fold it down the middle like this, and then line up the sides, and then I'm gonna do it pretty wide angle, I think. I want it to be somewhat subtle, and I'm just gonna do a little snip. Oh, I love the sound. And then for the back part, I'm just gonna make it straight. I feel like this cut is pretty flattering, so that's why I wanted to try it out. Okay, so this is what just the top looks like right now. Kind of like a V, and the back is just straight cut. Are so good. And now what I'm gonna be doing is taking this black tank top, laying it on top. Since this black fabric is pretty small, I'm going to have to be kind of scrappy with it to cut out that like whole yin yang shape. So let me look up my inspiration photo. I'm gonna cut my top open a little bit so I can get full use of this fabric. Probably be helpful if you had like a bigger tank top, but we're gonna have to make this work. I'm just laying it over my top basically. I'm just gonna start snipping around. Honestly, I'm kind of eyeballing it, but I'm gonna be snipping around to make the little like yin yang shape, if that makes sense. Okay, so I did decide that I'm gonna be taking some pins and just pinning down the black fabric to my tank top, just to make sure that it doesn't like move around while I'm cutting it or anything. I think this will help a lot. Every single time I do like any sewing stuff, I never want to use pins because I'm like borderline lazy, but I swear every single time I regret it if I don't use pins, and then when I do use pins, I'm like, oh my gosh, good thing I did that or else I would have been a hot mess. So I am saving myself stress later and pinning all of this down right now. Alright, so now that I have it all pinned down, I'm just flipping it over and I'm gonna cut off all of this excess like black fabric around here. That's gonna be my first step.
As you can see here, I'm first cutting around the fabric and then I'm going and cutting out that little yin-yang shape, which I don't really know how to explain it other than looking at the yin-yang symbol, kind of trying to resemble it onto this shirt. It was a lot of like snipping and looking at it and snipping again, which honestly I think was the best way to do it.
Wonky angle, oh well. Okay, so I finished doing my little like trims and stuff. So this is what it looks like right now. It's all pinned. I'm just gonna whip out my sewing machine. You can definitely hand sew this too. It will just take a little longer, and I also like that super like raggedy looking, and as I've said in my previous sewing videos, I'm not the best with a sewing machine. I'm still definitely learning. This is honestly the best for me because then it's, you know, it's supposed to look a little messy. Oh my gosh. Whipping her out. I'm going to change the thread because I want it to be white because I want the thread to kind of like pop on this. I am also, I don't remember if I mentioned, I'm gonna do like a wide stitch also, you know, because like seeing the threading, I don't know what that's really called because once again, I'm not an actual like sewer person. Being able to see the threading, I feel like is a pretty trendy little thing right now, and I really am a big fan of it. I'm just gonna sew around the perimeter of this.
As I said, I was using a pretty wide stitch for this, and also, as I've said countless times, I'm a very, very messy sewer, which really worked in my favor for this craft because I was going for that kind of like edgy seam look. So it's not supposed to look clean, and I actually really like how it turned out.
Alright guys, so I finished sewing it on and this is what it looks like. I'm liking it so far. It's pretty scrappy looking, but you know, that's what I was going for. All we have left to do is add the little dots. So I have a bunch of scrap fabric. Let me find it. Here. Did I throw that? I threw the other fabric off. Just enough. All I'm gonna do is cut out my little circles. You can use something to trace this, but as we know by now, I'm very, very YOLO. So I'm just gonna be cutting out a circle on each of these fabrics. There we go. Let's test this. A little large. That's a little way too large. I'm gonna cut that down a little more. Dude, circles are so I really called you guys dude. Circles are so one of those things though that you just keep on trimming it down and then eventually it's like way too small. It's like non-existent. Let's try that again. I like that. I think that's good. So now I'm just gonna trace this one onto my black fabric. Now I have my 2 dots and I'm just going to pin them onto my shirt where I want them to be placed. All right, would you look at that? Ooh, really coming together. I think this is adorable. Oh my god, I'm in love. Pretty much do the same thing. Sew around the circle, black dot first so that I'm using the same white thread, and then I'm gonna switch out my thread afterwards so that it'll be black on this one because I feel like it'll be fun. It'll pop a little bit, you know?
Get excited, we are coming to the final last stitches with this craft.
Ooh, all right, so that is this top all finished. Oh my gosh, I think that's pretty edgy. I cannot wait to try this on and style it and come up with some rad fashion outfits. But yeah, that is it for this one. It was pretty quick, pretty simple, and I love how it turned out. I am tempted, not even lying, to do this in different colors because I love it.
And that is it for the third and final top. I absolutely love how this one turned out. I was not kidding when I said I want to make more of them.
Alright guys, so those were my 3 DIYs. Hopefully you enjoyed all of these, and be sure to let me know if you try any of them out. If you want to keep up with me, make sure to subscribe and hit me up on the other socials. I would love to chat with you guys. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys!
I know you wanna leave, so come on baby, be with me so happily.